Hi, I'm Matt with Medina Minute, and this morning we're going to visit with Amanda from All Fired Up. Amanda, thank you so much for coming in today. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. So tell me a little bit about All Fired Up. How did you end up with this amazing paint pottery place on South Court Street?
I have a degree in art therapy, so I have a love for the arts. I have a concentration in ceramics, so pottery's right up there with it. And of course, just working with people. I love working with people, always have.
Cool. So art therapy, when you decided to study that, I was an art history major, so people always give me that look like, what are you going to do with an art history degree? With art therapy, where were you hoping that was going to take you?
Originally, my plan was to work in a children's hospital with terminally ill children, so creating art with them.
Sure. Did you start All Fired Up?
I did not.
Okay.
No, I started running the business and then bought the business.
And how long has it been in Medina, or how long have you
16 years. All Fired Up's been on the square.
So that's interesting. I thought that what do you officially call it? Like, is it paint your own pottery, paint pottery? How do you explain
All
that
Fired
to
Up,
people?
paint your own pottery.
Okay. I thought that was kind of a new thing. I didn't realize that it's been around for 15, 16, 20 years.
16 years I've been on the square. And that's by no means an original. There have been other businesses like that prior.
Oh, wow.
But I do think it's more common now to see them.
So I think one of the cool things that I see you're really great about doing social media stuff, and I love all the posts that you do on Facebook about the parties and stuff. How does that connect you to your customers and the kids that come in? Tell me a little bit about how you connect, the art and using your background in art therapy with your customers.
Gotcha. Well, I think one common misconception would kind of be that you have to be artistic or have artistic ability to enjoy my business, and you do not. So I think by having some of those events, whether it be a workshop where there's more instruction, or an event for kids where a princess comes, makes it a more relaxed atmosphere, and people can see that it's something everybody can enjoy. And you don't have to be super artistic to do it. There's ways to cheat too.
How have you seen the business evolve since you've been involved with it? Is it more like, are people making giftware? Are they making hand plaques to give to parents? Do the things go in cycles?
That's a good question. Everything. I've always seen everything. People making gifts for others, people making stuff for themselves. I think what has stayed true the whole time would be keepsakes with handprints and footprints. I think that is by far the number one thing.
Cool.
But we try to reinvent ourselves too. Like, I'm trying to make sure I always stay up with what customers are looking for. Like, we've been doing the canvas painting for a year and a half now, and that's very popular.
Cool.
The princess parties I just mentioned, those are very popular. And I have a passion for throwing on the potter's wheel, so that's something else that wasn't original, but I've brought into the business.
So you offer that? People can come in and throw a pot?
Yes.
Didn't know that.
I'll be seeing you soon.
You may. I took one course in college and absolutely loved it. It was really awesome, and I didn't realize that we had that. Are you from Medina originally?
I am.
You
yes.
are? Uh-oh. Okay.
Medina County.
Medina County. So what are the things that you love about living in Medina?
Oh gosh, I love the square, always have. The events on the square are the best. The Candlelight Walk being my favorite, and Ice Fest, those are great events. But I think just the charm, the character, Medina has the friendliest people. Those are all things that are very Medina-esque.
How much of your business is just walk-in traffic? Are people walking by and say, I think I'm going to paint a plate today?
We do get a lot of walk-ins, but I don't think a lot of it is a spontaneous, let me sit down and paint. Usually it's planned because it does, you want to be able to take your time and so most people when they come in and paint are probably there for about 2 hours.
Okay, and then you fire it and then they come back?
You got it, so
a
you
day
pick
later,
it up in
a week later?
A week, yeah.
When you have people who stop in from out of town, or family members from out of town, what are those things to you that are quintessential Medina that you kind of being a mini visitors bureau at that moment, saying, oh, well, you got to go eat here, you got to go check this out, you got to see this. How do you explain the district to people?
Well, that's a good question. I've got the brochures to give them so they know where to go, and of course I've got suggestions. It's hard to just pinpoint one good place to eat because there's lots of good places to eat, and it's hard to just pinpoint one boutique. They need to check them all out.
Well,
so really the square is a whole day's worth of fun.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite building on the square? When you drive in town, something just catches your eye and makes you smile.
I think the old firehouse, though.
So many people say that.
I know. And of course, just the gazebo. I realize that's not really a building, but
Yeah.
that's Medina right there, the gazebo.
It is, and what still kind of personally cracks me up about that is we're a very historic town. That's kind of, this town has based itself on its history.
Yeah.
The gazebo's not really that old. That's
How old is the gazebo?
40 years.
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
There was a gazebo in the square historically, and then there were some fountains and fish ponds, and then the city built a replica gazebo from another town, and it is
Right.
the icon of the square.
Yeah, isn't that
Just
interesting?
cracks me up.
Yeah.
So you said that Candlelight Walk was your favorite event.
Mm-hmm.
What about that captures the holidays for you? What do you love about that?
Hard to pinpoint in words, but I think like even this year when I'm walking down the roads right before the fireworks and it's a little bit calm down each end of the square, just the lights on the trees and the candles, there's just some charm about, and all the store windows and displays, and they're just beautiful. I don't know how to put it into words, but it's very charming.
Yeah, I think one of the neatest comments that I heard the first year that we did the lights and the fireworks, it was a beautiful weather year and the square was packed. And I heard a couple people say that they felt like they were walking through a Hallmark movie set.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me.
I can
kinda
get,
that.
yeah.
That's cool. I know you have children. Are your kids artistic? Do they like what mommy does, or no?
Well, they're used to what mommy does, so they grew up
Used
around
to,
it.
like-
No, I think they do appreciate the arts. My kids,
Yeah.
I have 2 boys and a girl.
Okay.
I'd say my youngest, Ruby, she's 8. She comes to the clay camps.
Yeah.
She loves it. She also loves to help me work. So she comes to the princess events and is like a little assistant. And
that's
my
awesome.
boys, they like the arts, but they seem to focus more on sports.
One of the things, when I leave the office at night and drive home, I live just off the square. I love the fact that you're open evening hours.
Oh, yes.
And I think that's just partially by design, because that's when a lot of your customers
Absolutely,
are free.
right.
How have you seen kind of the retail environment of the square evolve? You've been here, the store's been here 16 years. You've had it for how long?
I've been here for 14 years.
For 14, okay, so pretty much from the beginning. What's the biggest change that you've seen in the district and the makeup of the stores?
There have been some changes in the stores, and there are some new wonderful things that I'm really excited about. I've got that, wine bar next to me, and that brings some evening traffic, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And Raspberry and Rose moved next to me, and I know that brings additional foot
they're
traffic.
both doing really well. It's been awesome.
But I mean, as far as like new things and things going out, yeah, certainly I've witnessed that. But I think I don't know. I think we're in a good phase right now. There's
Sure.
a lot of exciting businesses. So.
Cool. So you have 3 kids, you have the husband, you have the business. Do you ever get downtime? Like describe Amanda time for me. Is there such a thing or no?
When I'm not not really. When I'm not at work, I'm running around at my kids' extracurricular activities. So like I said, they're involved in a lot of things. So that's my time.
That is your time.
That's my fun. That's my almost hobby, I guess you will. I enjoy it. Yeah.
In your dream world, if you were to have time for a hobby, what would that be? What would you do?
Right now, I don't get to do much as far as art for myself or throwing on the wheel for myself. So I would like to be able to spend more time doing that. But I like the outdoors. I would like to travel. That would be nice.
Where would you like to go?
I have no idea.
Just anywhere.
Yes, anywhere warm. How's that?
Have you had the chance to travel much in the past?
No, not really. We take the kids to Florida for spring break, so we're planning that again.
Oh, cool.
So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah. Where are you going? Do you go like to the beach or Disney?
Beach.
Nice.
That's relaxing.
Yeah, I bet. When you're on the wheel throwing, what's your style? What kind of stuff are you doing?
Where I left off last would be like teapots. And
Okay.
so usually when you're trying to learn how to do something, you're trying to perfect it and make it your own style. So when I'm teaching a class, typically we're doing mugs. So I will teach them how to throw a cylinder
A little
and
bit
then
easier
the
to do
handle.
this. How do you throw a teapot? I mean, obviously you got the
There's
vessel,
more
but then
steps, yeah.
there's this and there's the spout, and you stand there doing this.
I don't do that part,
would
but
help.
it would help.
Because I'd be throwing like, okay, I got to do this part and this part.
Yeah, 2-5. There's just more steps, so timing's kind of important. So
Okay.
that's hard for me to spend time to do now, only
Sure.
because of the timing of it.
So what you're throwing on the wheel, is that the same clay that the stock, I guess, when people come in to paint, is that thrown pottery? Is it poured? What is the stuff that people are actually painting on?
People are painting on bisquares, so it's been
Okay.
poured in a mold and already fired one time. When I'm throwing on the wheel, it is a similar clay body in that it fires at the same temperature.
So businesses evolve over time, and trends come and go. What's your plan to keep All Fired Up fresh and relevant? How do you keep it important to people?
I think I have to just keep reinventing, keep new products coming in that are trending. I'm always bringing new products in.
Where do you get the products? Like, is it you come up with these ideas and make the things? Is there a master catalog? How does it work?
A master catalog. I have 4 different suppliers. They're all within the
Okay.
United States that
cool.
produce the bisqueware.
Okay.
So when I'm ordering them, it is from a catalog. I also go to a convention. They offer a convention for businesses like mine, and that's where they're introducing their new products that I can offer to my clientele, and new paints, new tools to use. So there's always ways to kind of keep it fresh.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about the canvas thing. I know that's a very popular thing. How does that work?
Sure. It's a 16 by 20 canvas.
Okay.
It's one design that everybody's doing.
Decent size.
Decent size.
Nice.
So one design that everybody's doing. So I have an instructor
Okay.
that teaches the class very step by step.
Sure.
So a lot of people come in and may look at that design and think, I cannot do that. But there's something about when you're having it step by step that
Sure.
it's very doable. And then you still have the ability to alter it a little bit to your style. So if you want your
Okay.
background color so it matches your kitchen, you can make those adjustments.
That is cool. And if someone were to want to do one of those classes, do they just come in and sign up? Can they have their own private?
You can do
party?
private too. You do sign up for the classes. They
Okay.
usually book up, so it is important to make sure you're signed up for a class. We do private classes for the
Okay.
canvas, and that's just for groups of 6 or more. So if you just have 6 friends, coworkers, family that want to do, you just pick a design and we'll teach it to you.
Do you do those parties with kids?
Yes.
Is that just crazy in there at that time?
Well, I think they're more popular with the adults. I'd love to see more kids classes,
Okay.
but we do the canvas for kids' birthday
Do they
parties.
do they end up covered head to toe in paint?
No, they're not. No, we have paint shirts. It's not that bad.
All right. Well, Amanda, thank you so much. I really love talking to you and hearing about the store and what you're doing down there, and we appreciate you having you here.
Thank you.
And let's see if we can build up that art community.
Thank you, and you'll be coming over for a Potter's Wheel lesson.
Totally.
Thanks,
so
Matt.
much.